Your host today is Bob Sinkovic, an entrepreneur for over 25 years helping people with their financial needs.
Like tonight, you've already done more than what the masses do. The masses are only content to complain.
We're just going to cover the basics tonight. We're not going into any investment advice or anything in the future. You'll be able to catch those things on our future podcast. But anyway, if you get one idea tonight out of what we're going to talk about, then you've succeeded, because that one idea you can carry through the rest of your life. The first place we're going to start is on the income stream. Because if you don't have an income stream, what do we have to work with? Nothing. So if you don't have an income stream, I would suggest strongly that you get one. The first thing we're going to talk about is a job. Now, what is a job? It's a job, just over broke. There's most people have a job. They work from paycheck to paycheck, and they make a little bit of money. They just get their bills paid. They have enough for their food and their shelter and their car payment and their utilities and their cell phone bills. I call it just over broke because generally the general population in 3 weeks, they're looking at bankruptcy if they don't have any money. So we need to have a job, and sometimes that job is not always the job that we want. So it may mean working a job you don't really like for a temporary period of time, and the job should only be a temporary environment into the pursuit of your goal. So some people hate their jobs. Some people just go to their jobs. Some people love their jobs. If you love your job, you're really like halfway there. It's all relative, because I have clients that make $30,000, $40,000 a year and they're doing just great. They enjoy life, they're paying their bills, and then I have other clients that do $80,000, $180,000 a year that can't make it, that they're really starving to death. And the reason could be, if we take, for example, a car, you have a $3,000 car and you have a $100,000 Audi. The two cars get to the same place at the same time. So you got $97,000 of play money there, and you wonder why you can't make it. So there's some things that we're going to go over during the total period of the course that will affect you. I often wondered why people stay in jobs that they really don't like, that don't have a future. It's because people don't like change. People want some sort of security, even though when you're working for somebody, that is really a false sense of security. They kind of like routine, and they just are maybe afraid of failure. You know, what happens if I leave my job, I go to this new job, and I don't like it? Well, maybe that's not going to be the only job you're going to work for the rest of your life. Some people are afraid of success. What happens if I leave my job and I go to another job and I really, really like it? I might like it. That wouldn't be good. You know, they're afraid of that. And they don't really say that, but in their subconscious, they're thinking that. So there's some things in a job, though, too, that are really out of your control. I mean, we're talking about the government, we're talking about environment, we're talking about technology, we're talking about the economy, we're talking about social behavior that can change. There's a lot of things that could change, and things are changing very rapidly nowadays. It's not like it was 30 years ago, where you worked for a company for 30 years, you retired, you got the gold watch, and they told you to get out. That's gone at this point. So you have to be prepared. You have to keep your eyes open for any opportunities that may come along. And you can't be afraid of change. There's no reason why you need to be afraid of change. And you can't get pegged. You know, I was one of the best insurance agents in the United States with Prudential back in the day. And I really wanted to sell life insurance, but they said, no, I was selling life insurance, I'm sorry. But I really wanted to sell medical stuff. And the reason why, because it was a tangible product, where life insurance is an intangible. So I thought I would do better in the medical field. Well, they said, no, you're pegged. You're an insurance salesman. We can't use you for medical sales. So then I thought to myself, well, what about even a server? Like, if we take a server, this person is pegged as a server. And if you say in an office environment, for example, if you say, well, this person's a server, they can't possibly do office work, but stop and think about it. They have a work ethic that is unbelievable, probably more so than some of the people that are working in offices today. They have organizational skills. Can you imagine trying to put all those orders together? You have tables out in the dining room. This person wants a check. This person needs water, etc. So they're putting all this and formulating it in their brain. Then they have the people skills. Can you imagine all the different types of people that you have to work with? Crazy people, regular people, sad people, happy people. You're working with the whole gamut of people. There's no reason in the world why someone who's a server can't be qualified to do another professional job, maybe with benefits and a good pay and a good future. A lot of times we think of, is this the job that I'm going to do for the rest of my life? I think in today's marketplace you have to think 5, 10 years max, because things are changing very rapidly and corporations really don't have any what would they call it, loyalty to you. It's more for them, and they want to squeeze you, get as much as you can, use you up, get you out, and get somebody in there that's cheaper and younger that can do the same job, basically. Maybe not as good as you, but they don't care. So with that, you need to take the time to evaluate your situation where you're at right now and see, where am I going to be in 5 years? You know, is this job even going to be here in 5 years? I don't know. So keep your eyes open and keep looking for that new opportunity. And it's not going to be easy to accomplish what you need to accomplish. There's going to be a lot of failure, a lot of disappointment, but you have to keep on pushing. If you don't, you're going to end up 5 years from now in the same place you are now, and that's not really where you need to be. You should be improving, you should be changing constantly, just as life changes constantly as well. So with that, I'd like to leave you. One other thing is I forgot about this, the internet hole. I call it the black hole, because you're filling out all these applications, you're putting them in there, and they're just going into the black hole. So if you don't have a good resume, maybe pay somebody to get together and put together a nice resume for you. Find out also who you can hang with that will help you accomplish the goals that you want to be with, or where you want to be. If you're in a lower situation and all your friends and everybody is in a lower situation, they're really not in a position to help you move up. So find people that you can associate with, that you can look up to, that can mentor you to really bring yourself up. And also study and maybe look at a new profession, or be the best you can in the profession you're in. There's really not a lot to say about jobs. I'm more anti-job, to be more self-employed than I am working for somebody. But there's times in life when you have to do what you have to do. So with that, I'd like to thank you for listening. Keep watching the podcast, because eventually we're going to get into the money part where you want to hear and see what's going on. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.